Welcome everyone. It is well known that the power semiconductor devices can be broadly categorized as power diodes, power transistors and thyristors. In this video, I will explain the fundamental of power diodes and its characteristics. These power diodes are used as switches in power electronic circuits for the conversion of energy from one form to another. The various other functions which is performed by the power diodes are: it acts as switches in rectifiers, that is what is told, rectifier, it converts one form of energy to another. Freewheeling diode in switching regulators. For a capacitor, it can be used for charge reversal. It can transfer the energy between the components. It can also provide voltage isolation, and it can provide feedback, energy feedback from the load to the source. These power diodes, it can be assumed as ideal switches for most of the applications, but practical diodes, it differs from the ideal characteristics and it has certain limitations. Now let us look into the working of the power diode. So as you can see here, you have the diode symbol having anode and cathode, and this is the PN junction. Now the power diode, usually it has one more additional layer compared to the signal diode, which is the N plus layer. So we have P plus, we have one more layer which is N minus, which is the drift region, and this is the N plus region. So the high reverse voltage which it can block is achieved by this N minus drift layer. So if you have the anode, if the anode is positive with respect to the cathode, the diode is said to be forward biased and the diode will conduct. So when a diode conducts, there is a relatively small voltage drop across it. So the magnitude of this drop, voltage drop, it depends on the manufacturing process and the junction temperature. When your cathode is positive with respect to the anode, the diode is said to be reverse biased. So under reverse bias, what happens? A small leakage current flows, which will be in the range of either microamps or milliamps, and the leakage current will gradually increase with the increase in the reverse voltage. So you can clearly observe here, when the diode is forward biased, the current increases, the diode is conducting. When it is reverse biased, the current which is flowing is the leakage current in the reverse direction. That's why reverse leakage current, which is almost constant, and later on it increases with the increase in the reverse voltage until the breakdown has occurred. This is the breakdown voltage. This is the ideal characteristics. It is clear that your ideal characteristics and practical characteristics vary a lot. So here the VI characteristics, it can be expressed by an equation known as Shockley diode equation. The diode Shockley equation is given by ID equal to Is into e power Vd by n Vt minus 1, where this ID is the current through the diode and Vt is the voltage across the diode. This Is the leakage current, which is in the range 10 to the power minus 6 to 10 to the power minus 15 amps. That's what it was told, either in the range of milliamps or microamps. Next is N. N is the emission coefficient, which is in the range 1 to 2. Practically it is 1.1 to 1.8. For germanium made diodes, N has a value equal to 1. For silicon made diodes, N has a value equal to 2. And Vt is the thermal voltage. Vt is the thermal voltage, which is a constant. It is equal to Kp by Q. So what is this K? K is Boltzmann constant, which is equal to 1.3806 into 10 raised to minus 23 joule per Kelvin. T is the absolute temperature in Kelvin. Again, this in Kelvin. So we can write this K equal to 273 plus the temperature, whatever is in degrees Celsius, and Q is the electron charge, which is equal to 1.6022 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. So if we calculate it at a temperature T equal to 25 degrees Celsius, we get Vt as 25.7 millivolt, which is almost constant. The diode characteristics is mainly divided into three regions: forward bias when Vd is greater than 0, reverse bias when Vd is less than 0, and breakdown when Vd is less than the reverse breakdown voltage. First we will see forward bias. Forward bias is when the diode is conducting fully. Practically when we see that the diode will not conduct at once when the voltage is just greater than 0. Practically the voltage across the diode should be greater than the threshold voltage or equal to the threshold voltage or the cut-in voltage for it to conduct. Typical value is 0.7 volt. Now let us consider a small voltage where Vd is equal to 0.1, Vd is equal to 0.1 volt, and N equal to 1. That means for germanium made, and we have seen that our thermal voltage for 25 degrees Celsius is 25.7 millivolt. In that case, our diode Shockley equation, on substituting, we get equal to 48.96 IS if this Vd is less than the 0.7, which is the threshold. If it is greater than the threshold value, then we see that it is exponentially increasing. The current is exponentially increasing. So your current will be very less initially. Once it becomes greater than the threshold, then it is diode current is going to increase. Then what about reverse bias region? In reverse bias region, if Vd is less than 0, treat it as Vd is negative value. We take Vd is less than minus 0.1 volt. If at all we consider the exponential term in the Shockley equation, it becomes negligibly small. So what is the Shockley equation? Id is equal to Is into e power Vd by nVt minus 1. So under reverse bias region, if Vd is negative, this particular exponential term, even though we take its magnitude, the exponential term becomes very small when compared to this one, and we can say that this diode current is equal to negative value Is. Is is leakage current, which is very small and it is almost constant. So what happens is, as the breakdown, as the reverse voltage keeps on increasing, say this is around 500 to 1000 volt, we take 1000 volt. The magnitude of this reverse voltage will be very high so that the breakdown occurs and the current increases rapidly. That is the reverse current which increases rapidly. So the operation in the breakdown region, it will not be destructive provided the power dissipation, whatever is happening, is within the safe level which is mentioned in the data sheet of the power diodes. So it is better that the diode is operated only in the forward biased region. Next is the reverse recovery characteristics of the diode, which is very important. We know that the current in the forward biased junction diode will be very high. It is due to the effect of both the majority as well as minority carriers. So when we apply a reverse voltage to the diode, what happens is the current reverses its direction and becomes zero. So what is the time taken for the current to become zero? That is what we have to see here. So you can observe here, initially the current is in the forward direction with a constant value IF. At this point, when the voltage is reversed, the current will not become zero at once. It will slowly reduce, become zero, and again it will reverse its direction. It will reach the maximum reverse value and then drastically it reduces to zero. That is because when the diode is applied with the reverse voltage, it will continue to conduct with the minority carriers that are still present in the PN junction and the semiconductor material. So it takes time to recombine with the opposite charges and to get neutralized. That time is called as the reverse recovery time, which is TRR. So what this reverse recovery time TRR is given by TA plus TB. TA is the duration from which the forward current becomes zero until the current has reached its negative maximum. Next, TB is the duration when the current from its negative maximum has become zero. So if this TB is greater than TA, then it is categorized as soft recovery. If this TB is less than TA, it is the abrupt recovery or the hard recovery. So what is this TA and TB? So TA is due to the charge which is stored in the depletion region of the junction, whereas TB is due to the charge which is stored in the bulk semiconductor material. The TB by TA ratio is known as softness factor. What does this softness factor indicate? So this softness factor is a measure of the semiconductor losses which is happening. Semiconductor losses which is happening during the switching. So if this TB by TA ratio is high, that means there will be high switching losses. High switching losses. Okay, so this reverse recovery time, which is TA plus TB. So how can we express the peak reverse current? So the peak reverse current, it can be expressed as the current IRR is equal to TA into Ti by dt. So it is rate of change of current Ti by dt is equal to IRR into Ta from the forward conduction mode to the reverse mode. That is what we consider. So your reverse recovery charge QRR can be written as the sum of the charge recoveries in the two regions Q1 and Q2. What is Q1? Q1 is during the interval TA and Q2 is during the interval TB. So if we consider this as a triangle, we can write Q1 as half into TA into IRR. Similarly, Q2 can be written as half into TB into IRR. Therefore, taking common, that is I half and IRR common, we know that TA plus TB is TRR. We get this half IRR into TRR. So if we equate this with this one equation, we are going to get this final expression. So what we can conclude is the reverse recovery time TRR and the peak reverse recovery current, which is IRR, it depends upon the charge storage and the reverse di by dt. So the charge storage is also dependent on the forward current, which is IF. When we design, we should keep in mind the IRR. We need to keep in mind the softness factor and the reverse charge, which is QRR, which will be included in the data sheet, which is mentioned in the data sheet. So if a diode is in the reverse biased condition, we have observed that only a small leakage current flows, which will be due to the minority carriers. So that the application of the forward voltage, what it does is it will make the diode to current only in the forward direction. So if the rate of rise of this forward current is high and the forward current, if it is concentrated only in a small area, the diode may fail. So we have to, whenever we are designing, we have to set according to the limitations which are specified in the data sheet by the manufacturer. Thank you for listening.